Since you'll eventually undress me, isn't it better if I save you?
In this palace, playing it safe is a death sentence. To survive, I must be daring. From corporate powerhouse to a den of vipers, I'll climb this ladder to the top. This palace is a lethal survival game, and I didn't become a VP by playing nice.
Congratulations on your rebirth. The palace struggle system is now bound.
The queen, Su Yunxi, decided to make an example of me on day 1. Apparently, my etiquette wasn't up to her standards. Just as her guards were about to drag me to my doom, a mechanical voice echoed in my head. A system? Perfect. Every successful executive needs a data-driven strategy. If this system can provide the intel, I can provide the execution. Let the games begin. The queen was ready to crush me like a bug, but then the big boss himself, Emperor Shu Yunxi, made his entrance. I had to play the damsel in distresses card, a classic move to disrupt the queen's momentum.
My lord, this girl is reckless and lacks discipline. If she accidentally offends you later, I would be at fault too.
The emperor intervened, winning me a promotion. In this palace, a foot in the door is everything. First attendant? Just an unpaid internship. I'll treat this like any job and work my way to the top.
It's just another job, and I will reach the top.
My corporate logic will crush these jealous concubines. Strategy starts with intel. As a perfumer, I immediately smelled the musk on the queen.
Guan Yi incense? It seems the imperial couple isn't as happy as they look. With such a heavy dose of musk, I'm afraid the queen lost her fertility long ago.
The imperial couple's deep love is a complete fraud. The emperor is literally poisoning his own wife to prevent her powerful family from producing an heir. This is the leverage I needed. The queen wants me as a surrogate, sending Nanny Chen to teach me. It's a forced merger in disguise.
Nanny Chen, go and teach Lady Shu how to serve well.
I played along, acting like a cowardly girl. If she thinks I'm weak, she'll lower her guard. In the workplace, appearing harmless while sharpening your blade is the ultimate survival skill. Flexibility is key, so I prepared with yoga. Naturally, the queen and Shu Yunxi interrupted me.
Don't worry. This is called yoga. It relaxes the muscles and tones the body.
They called it witchcraft and scandalous. I call it a competitive advantage. The queen is terrified that I might actually catch the emperor's eye, and her jealousy is starting to show. The queen used yoga as an excuse for a brutal lesson. I'm enduring this for the job.
Someone, come here. Lady Shu just entered the palace and doesn't know the rules. Teach her a proper lesson.
I screamed for mercy, but inside, I was taking notes. This pain is an investment. Every strike she lands is a debt I'll collect with interest later. I just need to survive this shift. The queen played good cop with a carrot and stick routine, trying to buy my loyalty with ointment.
Don't blame me for the lesson just now. In this palace, walls have ears. You were out in broad daylight, improperly dressed. If anyone else had found out, instead of me, you'd be ruined for good.
She's using my father's career to keep me in line. She thinks she's the CEO of my life, but I'm already planning a hostile takeover. I'll use tonight's meeting with the emperor to flip the script. Tonight was my only shot at a promotion. I decided to ditch the submissive act and show the emperor something he's never seen. Raw confidence. I dressed to impress and didn't hold back.
The trouble? Without showing some skin? How would you know how soft I am?
I had him right where I wanted him. I used my perfumer skills to cloud his judgment, but the emperor is sharper than I thought.
Shu Yunxi, you drugged me. Do you realize this is a crime that will ruin your entire family?
He threatened to execute me and my father. But high-stakes business is all about calculated risks. I had to show him that I wasn't just another concubine, I was a potential ally in his war against the Su family. I offered a pure political alliance. I'll be his sword if he protects my family.
I'll allow you to have a son. However, it's not for the Empress, it's for me.
We reached a dangerous consensus. He wants an heir that isn't controlled by the Queen's clan, and I want the power to crush my enemies. The deal is signed in blood and incense. The very next morning, the promotion arrived. I skipped 3 ranks in a single night, moving straight to noble lady. The queen's face was a masterpiece of suppressed rage as she listened to the decree.
I accept the decree. Thank you, your majesty. Long live the emperor.
She thought she was using me as a pawn, but I just hijacked her entire strategy. I'm moving into my own palace, and the queen is stuck playing gracious leader, while her influence slips away. I couldn't resist twisting the knife. I thanked the queen for her guidance, while subtly reminding her that the emperor only treats her well for the sake of her family's power, not out of love.
If it were unshakable, you wouldn't need me to bear a child for you.
The mask is finally cracking. Su Yunxi is starting to realize that I'm not her puppet. I'm her replacement. She told me to get lost, but I'm just getting started. The queen tried to send her cousin Shu Yunxi to intercept the emperor tonight, but I was already waiting in the garden. With a see-through robe and the perfect fragrance, I made sure he wouldn't make it to her bed.
My lord, I didn't know you would come here. Please forgive me for not greeting you properly.
He fell for it completely. While Shu Yunxi is waiting in an empty room, I'm cementing my position as the emperor's favorite. But in this palace, every victory creates a new enemy. The queen is cornered, and a cornered viper is the most dangerous. Will my modern wits be enough to survive the storm she's brewing?
A few days ago, my father sent word to me. Great General Shu actually forced him to sell official positions. Worried he'd take the fall, I had him keep the evidence. But then he discovered this was authorized by the queen.
Information is the real hook here. I told the emperor about the Shu family's corruption. My father kept the receipts, providing the audit trail for this hostile takeover. They're about to learn not to underestimate a professional.
This jade pendant commands the western 6 palaces. Showing this is like seeing the head of the 4 consorts. Today, I bestow it upon you, so you can assist me better.
The emperor didn't just appreciate the tip, he rewarded me with a major promotion. He handed me a jade pendant that basically makes me the vice president of the harem. In a world where status is everything, he just gave me the ultimate corporate credit card. He's testing me, seeing if I can handle the weight of this power. And I'm more than ready to show him how efficient I can be. I've managed multi-million-dollar budgets before. Managing a few concubines is just another day at the office. While I celebrate, the queen deals with a failed merger. She's losing her grip and bullying her own cousin. It's the desperate flailing of a failing manager.
Watch your attitude. Whatever my flaws, I am still the head of the harem. You're just a lowly concubine's daughter. Without you, the Shu family can always find someone else.
The queen started an HR crisis by bullying my assistant. I stepped in. No one tramples my team or my jurisdiction.
In front of Her Majesty, you're just a lowly servant. How dare you speak? Guards! Take her away. For 100 strikes.
I'm done playing the victim. I told the queen her cousin failed to see the emperor, outplaying her at her own game. She's been outmaneuvered by a newcomer.
Your Majesty is likely here because First Attendant Shu didn't even see the Emperor last night, and you're here, taking it out on me.
The CEO just promoted me right over her head.
Slap her hard. Slap her until she understands exactly who's in charge here.
I'm now Consort Xian, the new co-CEO. The emperor is using me to phase the queen out. She had to smile while her authority was halved.
Consort Xian is the Empress's right hand. With both of you, my harem will be at peace.
I'm his blade.
Haven't I already consented to you being my blade? Since you're a blade, how can you let others insult you without fighting back?
It was time to clean house, starting with the imperial kitchen. Nanny Li, a workplace veteran who thought she was untouchable because of her years of service, found out the hard way that the new management doesn't tolerate insubordination. She tried to use her seniority to bully me, but I've dealt with toxic employees like her before. I didn't just fire her. I made sure she'd never get a job in this town again. This is how you set the tone for a new administration. You cut out the rot at the source.
Give this old servant 20 strikes, then throw her into the labor camp. Let her learn her proper place and how big mouths lead to ruin.
The queen threw Nanny Li under the bus to save herself. She's playing defense now, and my offensive strategy is just beginning.
Annie Lee, you've been by my side for so many years. How could you make such a huge mistake? Over the years, you've used my name to extort quite a fortune. For the sake of our years together, just retire and go home.
Censor Zhang brought a full impeachment for the Shu family. The emperor's war is public, and I'm watching the systematic dismantling of the queen's power base.
Today, I dare to impeach Great General Protector of the State and Shu Yuan for forming cliques and embezzling military funds. They must pay the price.
The emperor gave me the roster to handle as I see fit. I'm his hand now, rewriting the rules. The queen is cornered.
I have no interest in this. Since you have the roster, handle it as you see fit.
The queen plans a final stand at the sacrifice. She thinks I'm her tool, but I'm about to take the whole house down. One wrong move could end us both.
Shu Yunxi, enjoy yourself while you can. Soon, at the grand sacrifice, I'll make you realize that being my dog is your only smart choice.
The turtle shell has cracked. Calamity is coming. Your Majesty, this is a sign of a great disaster.
The queen's desperate play finally unfolded at the grand sacrifice, and it was as clumsy as a failed hostile takeover. Liu Cheng, the imperial astronomer, acted like he'd found a critical bug in the system when he pointed at a cracked turtle shell. He wasn't just reading omens. He was trying to delete my entire career profile by labeling me a national calamity. He's trying to sell the emperor a narrative that my very existence is a market crash waiting to happen. It's a classic smear campaign, orchestrated by the Shu family to protect their own failing assets.
Just because a turtle shell cracked, you call me a wicked concubine? You are the one spreading lies.
I wasn't about to let a piece of burnt reptile bone dictate my severance package. I stood my ground, calling out this quack for his transparent attempt to have me fired from the palace corporation. But Liu Cheng doubled down, claiming my horoscope was too aggressive for the nation's destiny, basically saying my management style was crashing the country's stock. Su Yuan leveraged his military record to pressure the emperor. Suddenly, the entire board was kneeling, demanding my termination. The ministers issued an ultimatum. It's either me, the wicked concubine, or the empire's stability. I pivoted the conversation, pointing out that the queen hired me. If I'm a demon, she's responsible for the poor vetting.
And my birth details were double-checked by the household bureau. If my fate is flawed, then wouldn't it mean the empress is a poor judge of character, brought a demon into the palace, and planned to ruin the court?
The queen flipped her script to save her own brand, pretending to be the voice of reason. It was masterclass damage control.
I believe Sister Consort Qian is not evil. There must be a mistake.
It was a stunning display of fake leadership. She was shouting for my blood a minute ago, but now that the audit trail leads to her office, she's suddenly my biggest supporter. The emperor played the conflicted CEO perfectly. Liu Cheng grew desperate, twisting words to avoid the fallout of his failed frame-up.
Your Majesty, this evil consort is sowing discord. I never said anything against the Empress or Great General Su. She's just lying. To save her own life, twisting my words on purpose. If this evil woman isn't dealt with, Great Yan will fall.
To maintain stability, the emperor banished me to the cold palace. It looks like a collapse, but it's a strategic relocation.
Shu Yunxi, you disrupted the sacred ceremony, spreading fear and causing chaos. Starting now, your titles are revoked, banished to the cold palace, never to return.
Stats hit rock bottom, but I always have a backup plan.
Shu Yunxi. Emperors have always been heartless. This harem will ultimately be my domain.
I triggered a physical shutdown to pause my banishment. The emperor couldn't ignore a health liability in front of the court. This feint was a tactical maneuver to buy time and change the narrative. The pregnancy announcement disrupted the market. I'm now the carrier of a royal asset, and the queen's plan hit a legal hurdle.
Congratulations, Your Majesty. Grand celebrations are in order. Consort Xian is pregnant.
Pregnancy is leverage. I used a charm to secure this project. The queen wants to eliminate me, but keep my child as intellectual property. She plans to dispose of me, but I'll protect my interests. The queen tried to seize control of my pregnancy. The emperor agreed, but he's playing a deeper game.
Sister Yunxi is pregnant. This is a blessing for our land. I beg you, Your Majesty, for the sake of the royal heir, let her stay in my palace to recover and expand the royal lineage.
The emperor maintained my banishment, calling the child born of sin. It was theater to prove I'm out of favor. I needed everyone to believe I was ruined to lure the queen into a false sense of security. The cold palace wasn't as bad as the name suggested. It was actually a quiet office for me to plan my next move. But Su Manman couldn't leave well enough alone. She showed up with tonics and a blatant threat against my father's life. She was trying to force a merger, demanding I hand over my child in exchange for my family's safety.
Shu Yunxi, your child will be mine. As for you, stay here in this cold palace.
She thinks she can use my father as collateral. I played along, thanking her for her guidance, while internally I was filing a massive lawsuit against her entire family. She won't get the chance to touch my father or my child. The emperor tried to reclaim the military's tiger tally. Su Yuan defied him, refusing an audit. The emperor forced Su Yuan into early retirement, sparking a boardroom tantrum. Su Yuan accused the emperor of being ungrateful for his sacrifices. It was a total breakdown of decorum.
I've spent half my life at war, serving the country with loyalty. Now that you've barely secured your throne, you want to cast me aside?
I entered the banquet like a whistleblower. I wasn't there to beg. I was there to present the audit results. We were armed with evidence that would liquidate the Su family's assets. I charged the Su family with fraud and embezzlement. The high-stakes counterattack has begun.
My lord, my father was harmed by the Su family, and I accuse Great General Protector of the State and Su Yuan of these crimes.
The emperor reclaimed his authority, furious that the Su family treated the government like a piggy bank.
What a great general you are. See for yourself. You, the Su family, sold government positions using power.
My father handed over the receipts. The Su family is trapped in a forensic audit. Documented corruption will end their family's monopoly forever. The queen tried to throw her brother under the bus to save herself, but the emperor didn't buy it.
Your Majesty, What my family brother has done has nothing to do with me.
I turned my attention back to Liu Cheng, the man who tried to end my career with a turtle shell. I revealed the audit of his bank accounts, 10,000 gold coins that appeared the day before the ceremony. I forced him to admit he'd been bribed to frame me, effectively dismantling the entire wicked consort narrative. The oracle was nothing but a paid consultant for the Su family. I watched him crumble and beg for mercy, realizing that his little astrological scam had just become a capital offense. The queen was sentenced to 3 months of confinement. I've achieved a major corporate restructuring.
Out of respect for our marriage, I confine you to the back palace for 3 months.
I have the Phoenix Seal now, but this merger is just beginning. I've secured the corner office. Time to set new standards.
That brat Xiao Yutian, if he can seize my army today, he'll wipe out the Su family tomorrow. Your so-called foundation is just a house of cards.
I thought securing the Phoenix Seal meant I could finally relax in my new corner office, but the Su family is already planning a hostile takeover. Su Yuan, the old general, is fuming because his military assets were frozen. He is calling the emperor a brat and warning his sister that their house of cards is about to collapse. I focused on my heir while the queen tried damage control, pretending to apologize to assess the threat I pose.
I wronged Consort Xian before, so I brought supplements to apologize. If Sister Consort Xian forgives me, I'll go back to confinement immediately.
An assassin lunged at the emperor, forcing an emergency response. It was a chaotic scramble for survival.
Protect the emperor. An assassin. Guards.
The queen took an arrow for the boss. What a performance. The emperor lifted her arrest, but is auditing her motives. He knows the truth. Trust is liquidated.
Su Manman, you took that arrow for me? But was it for me? Or for the Su family?
A foreign delegation brought a gift that looked like a funeral prop. Ministers saw it as a brand insult.
How dare you? To bring a coffin before the emperor. What is your intent?
Atli tried to rush the emperor into signing a new trade agreement written in a language no one at the table could read. Su Manman was nudging the boss to sign it, just to look magnanimous, but I had to step in and disrupt the closing of this fraudulent deal.
Did you just call us a group of fools? Saying we can't even read?
Su Manman tried to humiliate me by pushing her niece to play the divine instrument. When that failed, I saw my opening. I bet my entire career on a single performance, asking the emperor for a chance to save face for the company. I was ready to show them that a modern education is the ultimate competitive advantage.
Your Majesty, please give me a chance to save face for Great Yan. If I fail, I will gladly accept my punishment.
My first notes were a disaster, and the queen mocked me. But the problem wasn't my skill, it was the hardware.
Your Majesty, you see, I told you she couldn't do it. Compared to First Attendant Shui, this is even worse noise. Isn't she just dragging Great Yan's dignity through the mud?
The piano was out of tune. I did a quick recalibration and prepared to perform.
So that's why this piano wasn't tuned at all.
My performance silenced the critics. It was a demonstration of superior cultural capital.
Consort Xian, she was really hiding her talent.
I exposed the contract as a scam with predatory clauses. I demanded a full forensic audit.
If we sign this, it will ruin Great Yan's interest.
Atli collapsed, and they tried to frame me for witchcraft to cover their failed deal.
It's you! You're a witch consort.
The queen fueled the witch narrative, trying to turn a medical emergency into a capital offense.
Consort Xian, can you really use magic?
To avoid war, I checked Atli's vitals. It was a respiratory shutdown, not a curse.
I would like to see what kind of dark magic could allow me to take a life like that.
My chest compressions look like an assault to them. I just needed to reboot his system.
How dare you disrespect the body? Kill evil consort.
Kill evil consort.
Atli gasped back to life. I saved the peace treaty, leaving the queen's plot in ruins.
My lord is quite tough. One punch from me was enough to bring him back from the edge.
I questioned Atli's collapse, suggesting guilt was the real hazard. I survived this round, but the Su family will get more desperate.
Your Majesty, when this envoy entered the hall, his behavior was already strange. First, he used that piano to cause trouble. Then he produced a contract in a foreign tongue, full of vague and unclear terms, urging you to sign it immediately. And now, he stages this dramatic scene of coming back to life, disrupting the court to avoid the investigation. His actions are suspicious and his intentions are wicked. Your Majesty, please look into this.
The Su family's desperation is reaching a boiling point, and Atli is just their latest pawn in this fraudulent merger. I won't let them liquidate our national assets with a few lines of gibberish. I stepped into the center of the hall, ready to tear their poorly drafted contract to shreds. I laid out the evidence with the precision of a forensic auditor. His sudden illness was just a convenient firewall to block the investigation. But I had already bypassed his defenses. When the emperor's anger fled, the envoys realized their bluff had been called. The security of their fake deal was compromised, and they had no choice but to beg for a bailout. They even went as far as to drop to their knees to save their necks.
Order all imperial physicians on duty to come and examine the envoy's health. Find out exactly what illness he has that strikes at just the right time, only to be cured by a punch from Consort Xian.
Greed is a high-risk strategy in this court. The emperor wasn't buying their apology, and neither was I. Their career in Great Yan was officially over. Saving the empire's dignity came with a massive promotion. The emperor rewarded me with a jade pendant that granted me access to the Wenyuan Pavilion, the ultimate database of ancient knowledge. My system confirmed the level up, and suddenly, I was the most powerful consultant in the palace.
An achievement is an achievement. I declare, Consort Xian, Yunxi of the Shu family, possesses both virtue and talent. Her exceptional performance in today's diplomacy has brought honor to our nation. I grant her the Wenyuan Pavilion Jade Pendant. She may enter and leave at will to study the ancient texts. In future foreign affairs, Consort Xian may join the discussion to assist me in my duties.
I accepted the grace with a smile, knowing this new clearance would make me an even bigger target for the Su family's jealousy. I am no longer just a consort. I am a player in the state's affairs. I barely had time to enjoy my new office before Zhao intercepted me in the gardens. She was trying to pull rank, using her family's history with the library to intimidate me. She even blocked my path with a look that said she wanted to audit my very soul.
Consort Xian, wait there.
I was happy to show her modern professional standards. The queen turned a disagreement into a public challenge, hoping to expose me as a fraud.
Ladies seeking wisdom as role models for the palace is a wonderful thing. Consort Xian, what do you think? Shu Yunxi, don't think your clever trick against the envoy means I don't have a way to expose you.
I could see the trap, but I wasn't about to back down from a public debate. I accepted the challenge, ready to show them that my logic is far superior to their ancient superstition. At the festival, Zhao tried to corner me with some vague nonsense about the Big Dipper and natural disasters. She thought she was being clever, but I just reframed the entire dataset into something actually useful.
Observing the stars at night isn't just for fortune telling, but to better track the seasons for farming purposes. When the handle points east, it signals that spring is here. As it gets warmer, it reminds people to prepare for the end of the cold.
I turned her mystical omens into a practical agricultural forecast. It wasn't about magic, it was about risk management and serving the people. The court was silent as I debunked her superstition with cold, hard facts. Zhao tried one last desperate move, questioning whether a woman should even be involved in state affairs. She was trying to enforce the old corporate culture, but I redefined the job description on the spot.
A mother who educates her child, a wife who manages the household, and for us, as your consorts, sharing the emperor's burdens are all within a woman's duty.
The emperor loved the pitch. I wasn't interfering. I was optimizing his administration. Zhao was left speechless as her traditionalist arguments were liquidated by my progressive vision. The queen's direct attacks had failed, so she switched to a more subtle form of corporate sabotage. She personally delivered a tonic for my pregnancy. My modern senses immediately flagged the scent of musk, a classic poisoning tactic disguised as a gift.
This is made from many fine herbs, carefully brewed into a tonic. It's very beneficial for the royal baby. Drink it while it's hot.
She smiled like a mentor while handing me a death warrant. I smiled back, took the tonic, and prepared to use her own weapon against her in the most public way possible. I waited for the emperor, then triggered a simulated miscarriage right at his feet.
Your Majesty, Empress Your Ladyship sent this today, claiming it is wonderful for the royal baby. I thought such a high-quality tonic should be shared with you to show my appreciation.
The panic in the room was real, but my pain was a calculated move. I needed him to see the queen's kindness for the poison it truly was. The imperial physician was summoned, and the trap was set. When the doctor confirmed the presence of safflower, the queen's mask finally cracked. The emperor's fury was a force of nature. In her panic, she even turned on her own staff, striking her maid to shift the blame.
Shu Yunxi, you're quite lucky. I used such a strong dose, yet your child actually survived. A pity, really. Did you think I didn't have a backup plan?
The physical violence was a sign of her total loss of control. She was no longer the composed CEO of the harem. She was a desperate criminal trying to hide the evidence. The queen tried to pivot and blame others, but I wouldn't let her rewrite the narrative.
You the one framing me? Even now? You're still acting?
The emperor's trust is hitting rock bottom, but the Su family has one last card, dragging Consort Zhao into the fire.
The physician has confirmed that the soup the Empress sent to Consort Xian today contained plenty of toxins. Nanny Chen testified that it was you who entered the pharmacy and asked her about Consort Xian's pregnancy.
The audit of this poisoning didn't take long to find a fall guy. The Empress is already executing a risk mitigation strategy, and Nanny Chen is her primary witness to ensure the liability stays far away from the throne. I watched from my bed as the old servant began her rehearsed testimony, painting a picture of a calculated crime. It was a classic corporate setup. The Empress had already prepared her scapegoat, and the evidence was being manufactured in real time. She was looking for a way to turn this disaster into a hostile takeover of my position. I couldn't let this sloppy frame-up stand. I stood up and challenged the Queen's narrative with modern logic.
I think there is more to this. If Consort Zhao truly wanted to harm me, she had many ways. Why pick the time when the Empress was sending supplements? That would only implicate the Empress. Such a stupid plan is not something a gifted woman like Great Yan would come up with. The person who wants my child gone must be someone else.
My counter-audit rattled the Queen's composure. Su Manman's strategy of shifting blame is truly ruthless. Whether I lose the baby or Consort Zhao gets punished, she remains completely untouchable, free from any blame. I have to force a deeper investigation into the actual production line of that tonic. I suggested we question the staff from the royal kitchen. If there was a breach in protocol, that's where the paper trail would start. The Empress smiled, pretending to be helpful, but I could see her calculating her next move. The Emperor's high-pressure interrogation cracked the maid. Fear told me she was hiding evidence.
Speak. Regarding the tonic today, from the brewing until it reached Consort Xian, was there anything strange? If you lie even once, you'll pay with your life.
The maid confessed that a servant from Zhao's palace had been hanging around the pharmacy. It was exactly the kind of circumstantial evidence the Empress needed to close the case, but it felt too convenient, like a pre-packaged data set. I noticed the soup's consistency was off a sign of tampering. I shifted the focus back to pharmacy security.
Your Majesty, while taking my tonics today, I noticed that the tonic sent by the Empress was thinner than usual.
If they poured out the original medicine and added the poison later, the volume would be the same, but the concentration would change. My background in chemistry was finally paying off in this ancient corporate war. The audit was moving toward the eunuch Xiaolingji. I pressed him for details, watching his body language for any signs of a coached response. The Emperor was losing patience, and the truth was about to be liquidated from the chaos of the kitchen records.
If they poured out some of the soup and added something else, in terms of volume, it wouldn't look any different, but the taste and color would change. Why don't we call the eunuch over and question him together?
Curiosity is a dangerous asset in this palace. The Emperor ordered a full sweep of Zhao's quarters, and I knew the next piece of planted evidence was about to be discovered by the Queen's team. I debunked the low-level frame-up. Why would an assassin leave evidence in her own trash?
Your Majesty, if Consort Zhao really wanted to poison someone, why would she leave evidence in her own incense burner? Wouldn't that be a dead giveaway?
The Empress tried to talk over me, but the logic was already out there. I was dismantling her case brick by brick, forcing her to find a more convincing fall guy, before the Emperor started looking at her directly. A witness saw Nanny Chen by the pot. Liability is moving up the ladder, and the Queen's mask is cracking.
Majesty, I just interrogated the kitchen staff on duty today. A young eunuch confessed that while the medicine was simmering, he saw the Queen's aide, Nanny Chen, stay by the pot for a while.
Nanny Chen tried to claim she was just checking the progress, but the Emperor wasn't buying the corporate fluff. The Empress was backed into a corner, and I knew she was about to liquidate one of her own to save her reputation. The Queen threatened Nanny Chen, "Take the fall, or your entire family gets deleted."
Think carefully about this. Nanny Chen, slandering your master, is a fatal crime that wipes out your entire lineage.
It was cold-blooded management. The Empress was ready to sacrifice her most loyal employee to maintain her market share of the Emperor's trust. I watched Nanny Chen's face as she realized her career was over. Nanny Chen blamed Shu Yunxi starting a family feud.
First Attendant Shui asked your servant what good things were inside, saying it smelled lovely. Your servant told her it was Lady Xian's tonic. She then stepped forward to sniff it. She opened the box while your servant wasn't looking, claiming to care for Lady Xian and the heir. Your servant warned her then. How could anyone dare to pry into imperial gifts? But her? She actually scolded your servant.
Dragging Yingxue into this was a masterstroke of desperation. I questioned why a distant relative would suddenly become so interested in my health. The Emperor summoned Yingxue, and the final audit of this conspiracy was about to begin. The Queen showed no mercy to her cousin, forcing a confession to clear herself.
This wretched servant is framing Ying Shou, just to save her own skin. Since things have come to this, to keep myself out of it, I have no choice but to sacrifice her. Ying Shui, you are one of my people in the Su family. You should know the rules and decorum. What to touch and what not to touch. Must I really teach you word by word myself?
She was using the weight of the Su family to pressure her cousin. It was a brutal display of power, and I could see Yingxue realizing that she was nothing more than a disposable asset in the queen's portfolio. Yingxue confessed to save her family. It was a total liquidation of her dignity.
I lost my mind. Jealous that consort Xian was pregnant and favored by you. So I secretly added safflower into the food box and framed consort Zhao. I beg your majesty for mercy.
The confession was perfect, almost too perfect. Yingxue had taken the fall, and the empress was looking at me with a triumphant smile. But a forced confession leaves a paper trail, and I wasn't finished auditing her lies. Yingxue struggled with her fabricated story. The queen sacrificed a pawn, but at a massive cost.
I was jealous of consort Xian, and I lost my mind. Since my cousin gave consort Xian control of the Phoenix Seal, I have been filled with resentment. Why should a common girl stand above the Su family?
The queen liquidated a relative to protect herself. The real game is entering its most dangerous phase.
Out of respect for the Su family's service to the state, I'll grant you an intact body. Guard. Banish her to the cold palace, give her a white silk cord, and let her end it herself.
The Su family's books are beyond messy, they're bleeding out. Su Yunxi was just the first write-off in Su Manman's desperate attempt to balance the ledger. I watched coldly as the emperor delivered the final audit on her life. A white silk cord for a cousin's life. In this palace, family isn't a bond, it's just collateral to be spent when the CEO loses patience. The queen tried to pivot the blame onto me. I'm no intern, she can't bully me.
Sister consort Xian, in this palace, one wrong step and you are ruined. You'd better watch your step. Don't follow in the path of first attendant Shui.
I told her to mind her own health. The wind is shifting in this palace, and the higher you climb, the harder the fall when your foundation starts to rot. The fallout from the poisoning left a massive vacuum in the harem. Consort Zhao, who was almost the fall guy, finally realized that staying neutral in this corporate war is a death sentence. She came to me to settle her debt.
You saved me today. And if you ever need anything, I'll do whatever it takes to help.
I've secured a new asset. In this palace, a grateful ally is worth more than 1,000 empty promises from the throne. Our alliance is officially on the books. The Empress Dowager is back with old-school rules. The Queen immediately played the victim.
I have been gone for months, and things have become quite lively. Virtuous consort's pregnancy is good news. However, women of the palace must focus on virtue and caring for their families. Political matters are not for women to interfere with.
They're running a classic good cop, bad cop routine. The Dowager barks about virtue while Su Manman kneels like a disgraced manager, all just to show me who still owns the majority shares. The Dowager forced me into the autumn hunt, a high-risk field trip for a pregnant woman. But amidst the wilderness, the Emperor cleared the room for a private audit of his heart. He's finally being honest about the Su family's grip on his empire.
If you hadn't come to me, my world would still be in the Su family's hands. Now that the Su family is finished, I can finally feel at ease.
He's admitting that I'm his only trusted partner. For the first time, I feel like more than just a political tool in his struggle for total control. The peace didn't last. The Su family's desperation finally peaked in the woods. Su Yuan didn't come to talk. He came for a hostile liquidation of the CEO. I didn't think I just threw myself in the line of fire.
Damn, Emperor. You ruined the Su family. Pay with your life.
I must protect my investment. My father stopped the bleeding. Su Yuan is cornered like a rat in a failing office.
Xiao Yutian, you ungrateful, foolish ruler. The Su family conquered this world for you, yet you treat me like this. I'll take you down with me.
He tried to take the emperor down with him, but his leverage was gone. My father's men moved in, ending the Su family's military threat once and for all. The queen is begging for mercy, but the evidence of rebellion is too loud to ignore.
Failed to notice his movements, which almost led to a disaster. Betraying you is truly inexcusable. But I beg of you, Your Majesty, consider that the ancestors of the Su family once sacrificed everything for the sake of great Yan. And please spare the rest of the Su family. They are all innocent.
Innocent? They built an army to kill the king. The emperor isn't buying the uninformed relative excuse anymore. The Su family's reach has gone too deep, and he's ready to cut the cord. The Empress Dowager tried to blame me for the lack of security, but I turned the audit back on the Empress. If she's the head of the inner palace, why was she so blind to her own brother's treason? I knelt and played the failed protector role, forcing the Dowager to choose between her clan's crimes and her son's safety. It was a high-stakes gamble to see who she'd liquidate first. The Dowager used the bloodline card to save her clan, putting her own life on the line.
I'm also a member of the Shu family. Half of the blood in your veins is from the Shu family. Surely, you wouldn't eliminate me too.
It's a stalemate. He can't kill his own mother, but he can't let the Shu family keep their market share. The political tension in the room is reaching a breaking point. The queen is permanently sidelined and stripped of authority.
Hunt down the remnants of Shu Yuan and interrogate them. As for the Empress, confine her to Yonghua Palace forever. She is not to leave without a decree.
She wanted a simple life of prayer, and the emperor gave it to her in a gilded cage. It's a soul-crushing end for a woman who lived for power. The Shu family is liquidated. I've completed my hostile takeover of the inner palace.
Today on, Consort Qian will manage palace affairs with the authority of the Empress.
I'm at the top, but a target is on my back. Is this the start of a deadlier audit?
Once she gives birth, I'll make her understand who the true master is. Of this palace, this court, and even the entire world. I will rule everything.
The audit of the Shu family is final, but the toxic assets are still screaming from the cold palace. Su Manman might be sidelined, but she's still clinging to her delusions of a hostile takeover. She's promising to take back everything she lost, but she's bankrupt of both power and allies. Still, a cornered executive is the most dangerous kind.
I have been praying lately to bring blessings to the baby in Shu Yunxi's womb.
I decided to conduct a final site visit to her gilded cage. Seeing her stripped of her authority was satisfying, but her fake kindness was a red flag I couldn't ignore. Praying for my child? That's a bad debt disguised as a blessing. I know she's just waiting for the right moment to default on her humanity. Zhao's intel confirmed a contract on my life. The queen is trying to sabotage my product.
Not only that, I also heard that the Empress, in private, has been secretly contacting ministers who were close to the Shu family, asking them to gather his scattered remnants.
Bribing every midwife in the city? That's a massive investment in malice. If I stay in this palace, I'm just waiting for a forced liquidation. HR is compromised. I need an outside consultant, even if it breaks protocol.
I will leave the palace in secret. To find a reliable doctor.
I told Lear to tell everyone I'm on a leave of absence. I'm taking my security into my own hands before the Empress can close the net. I didn't expect the chairman to be patrolling the perimeter. Xiao Yutian caught me mid-escape, but instead of an audit, he offered a joint venture. It seems we're finally aligned on the same risk management strategy.
Yunxi, you've been through so much. I actually had the same concern.
He knows how much is at stake. This miracle worker has a very picky client acquisition policy. No royalty, no villains, and definitely no ugly patients. It's the most exclusive clinic I've ever heard of. Even the emperor got rejected on his first 2 attempts.
Behind a bamboo curtain, she told me that I didn't look like I'd die young, so she wouldn't treat me.
She rejected him because his face didn't meet her criteria for a crisis. This doctor isn't looking for a paycheck. She's looking for a challenge that interests her. We reached the quietest branch office in the empire. The doctor tried to close the doors on us, but I brought a pitch she couldn't ignore. In any negotiation, you have to offer the one thing the other party lacks.
I'm willing to give you my fragrance techniques, or even serve you as your servant to repay the favor.
For a legendary healer, a new chemical formula is better than gold. She took the bait, proving that everyone has a price if you know their market value. The deal isn't closed yet. Her apprentice laid out the terms of the acquisition. 3 trials, starting with a botanical audit in the ravine. It's a high-stakes performance review.
Within half an hour, gather 20 non-toxic herbs that help with pregnancy. If you're off by even 1 herb, or pick the wrong kind, you lose.
Who's watching me?